Mpuuga okuswala tuli mu Parliament. President Kyagulanyi yagambye nti ono yafuuse bawunsa wa Anita Amongi. Kati nno olwaleero ate kiyitiridde tukusobola tulabe biri mu Parliament eno. Mpuuga
give us the findings since he had been there for some days.
Much obliged, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I had thought initially that I would augment the debate outgoing on the subject matter so that those who read the answer do not have their heads spin over how matters have been cascaded on the answered. But allow me to be brief, because a lot of what I had captured has actually found itself on the floor of Parliament by virtue of the minister's submission and your recognition of the issues you saw observed. So I will be very brief. Secondly, it's an interim observatory statement following the urgency with which these matters captured the attention of the House, and therefore did not go into deeper investigations of what is and what is not at the facility. Right, Honourable Speaker, on Friday the 12th of April 2024, the House's attention was drawn to concerns that the Confederation of African Football (CAF) had, in an interim inspection report, made a declaration to the effect that the Ugandan major national stadium at Nambole was not ready to host international matches, given the inordinate delay in the completion of the ongoing renovation civil works on the complex. That Honourable Speaker and colleagues, that Honourable Speaker directed the Minister of Sports and Finance to meet with urgency to resolve the impasse, and with directives to the Commission of Parliament to attend a stakeholders meeting at Nambole and report to the House. But Honourable Speaker and colleagues, the CAF report on the stadium that was laid on the floor by the Honourable Nambeshe had the net effect of cancellation of Uganda's opportunity of hosting major international football matches, including CHAN and the CAF qualifiers in June 2024, and derailing our assessment for eligibility to host AFCON in 2027. The National Stadium was officially opened in 1997, right, Honourable Speaker, albeit at 75% completion. Until the ongoing renovations were commenced in March 2022 by the Ministry of Defence through a memorandum with the Ministry of Education and Sports, the stadium was never fully completed to full operation phase. Right, Honourable Speaker, assessment and costing of the renovation works. In the interim visit I made for 2 days, after assessment of the desired civil works for upgrade of the stadium to international standards by the Ministry of Works and Transport, together with the UPDF Engineering Brigade, the renovation works were phased in 3 stages. The short term, which is the ongoing, costing 94,049,239,595. Phase 2, which is the medium term intervention, to cost 84,996,761,256. Then the long term, which is phase 3, costing 108,541,395,375, costing a whopping 287,587,396,226 to renovate the stadium to its entirety, Right, Honourable Speaker and colleagues, to international standards. Right, Honourable Speaker, government has so far been able to provide all the required finances for phase 1 at this stage, albeit with some delays which is largely responsible for the current crisis that necessitated the direct intervention of Parliament. Right Honourable Speaker, response to major CAF concerns. In general terms, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, all the issues raised by CAF were valid, and they are basic requirements for certifying a particular sports facility to host international events. During the 2 days acquaintance with the stadium and its facilities and the ongoing innovation works, I can confirm, Right Honourable Speaker, and attest to the fact that the remaining renovation works can be completed in a period of between 2 to 3 weeks, save for the delivery and installation of the imported floodlights that require the next 30 days, way beyond the prescribed time. But even for the floodlights, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, management and the contractor assured us that they have in place a temporary arrangement to install leased floodlights that will supply the required 2,000 lux until that will serve the purpose for the interim period as required by CAF. I wish to report to Parliament that the rest of the requirements on the CAF checklist, for some reason, were not inspected, including the smart stadium facilities that enable automated ticketing and seating. Many fittings are available in the stores of the stadium, and I was able to inspect them. We have advised the contractor in the meeting, Right Honourable Speaker, to utilize the appeal window, which the Minister mentioned, to install them in order to make the stadium ready for re-inspection, if that is an arrangement feasible and available. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I was shocked to inspect stores with materials gathering dust, and the CAF was demanding for the existence. Probably between the contractor and the supervisor, somebody slept on duty and they put up in this mess and crisis, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, recommendations and way forward. Right Honourable Speaker, in the interim, the Minister for Sports must ensure that supervision of the contractor is enhanced, especially to ensure delivery of the outputs on the agreed timelines. In the meeting, Right Honourable Speaker, we agreed to a work frame with very strict timelines of delivery and installation of what is available and being demanded. And somehow, probably it speaks to what the former president said, that if they were involved, some of these should be already in place because they're in stores and they're not probably considered as immediate and appropriately required. 2, the minister should report to Parliament on a weekly basis on the progress made until the requirements are fulfilled and the right to host international matches is restored and confirmed by CAF. So even when they do not confirm, the minister should report so that we can find what is appropriate for him and his team. 3, there is need for an interim audit, Right Honourable Speaker, of the funds so far released for the renovations for phase 1. The audit should not be limited to deployment of the funds, but the entire procurement arrangement, quality of work, and value for money before starting the second phase. Right Honourable Speaker, because this is an interim report, allow me to make this one last statement, which had not included my interim statement relating to the parking space that's on record of Parliament. We were able to have a meeting with the owners of Pioneer Bus that own a scrapyard at the facility parking space. Of course, it's one of the impediments for approval of the stadium for eligibility to host matches. The key director there, Mr. Albert Muganga, was part of the meeting, together with the Uganda Land Commission that offered the company a lease, which as a lawyer I considered out of legal space. The Office of the Attorney General was represented, and the Pioneer people have no problem with removing their scrap. Even by yesterday, they reported that they are looking for space. We gave them this week to remove their scrap from Nambole such that compliance, at least for the parking facility, is restored. Right, Honourable Speaker, I hope when the matter of Pioneer comes to Parliament, Parliament will be very strict in investigating circumstances under which Pioneer bus owners ended up at Nambole, acquiring a lease of 49 years as the Nambole land, and now they are in court requiring compensation of over 25 billion for business loss. Honourable Speaker, I hope Parliament will interest itself in how all this happened, such that we are able to save the taxpayer from this nugatory possible expense. Honourable Speaker and colleagues, this crisis, in finality, should have a permanent lesson to all charged with management of public affairs to appreciate and understand the gravity of their actions and how they impact on public confidence, right, Honourable Speaker, in leadership in this country. I thank you. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The issue of ULC, first of all, the land belongs to government. That is Minister of Education and Minister of Finance. And Minister of Finance, according to the meeting that we had, the board said they were not consulted for ULC to be able to sublease their land. And as we stand now, the lease expired. So I want COSASE, this is under COSASE, to take it as a priority to find out how did the ULC sublease land which belonged to another entity without authorization. And I also want you to look at how much money did they collect as NTR on the land that was subleased. And how did the buses come to be parked in that area as if it is a parking yard? Yes.
I want to thank you for your guidance on that. But still, in all we are talking about Nambole, we are leaving out the hotel at Nambole. And many people are dodging it. You remember, Madam Speaker, when we were in the Committee of Park, there were a lot of issues on that hotel. Someone had hired it privately. That hotel was meant for players. It has a swimming pool, fully fledged, a 3-star hotel. And as we talk about renovations, the issue of Nambole Hotel is always left out. And it's very key.
For your information,
Madam Speaker,
the hotel that we're investigating, we're in the same committee, the hotel has been renovated. It was gotten back from those people who had the hotel, and it is now in the possession of Nambole. It has 72 rooms.
most obliged, Madam Speaker. And I want to hear, whenever we are talking about Nambole, that the hotel, because the component of that.
The hotel is there.
Otherwise,
the hotel,
it is
actually,
disappearing without hearing anything
no,
about it.
the hotel is available.
The way their assets were disposed is not known. But Madam Speaker, since you have stated, I agree with you, but you know, the
There
issue
are
of the
72 rooms in the hotel, and all of them were vacant. There is a restaurant. Everything is there. Yes, Haj. Honorable members, this report was informative. You've been debating on this. For me, all I want you people to do as a house is an issue of the buses.
Yo. Masasi Mpuuga Nsamba. Bawunsa wa Speaker Ntamongi muwulidde ebigambo abyogedde. Anze wanseserezza ambu yamaze wiiki nambe Nambole. Banga nkolayo ki byampuna bisekerwa naye beba bakulembeze ba Siva Kondai nenga ensi kati ya mugana bagamboza chimwani yabba Mpuuga yabba ni yali Mpuuga yali atambulira